Gabby who said that President Mahama is actually the most prepared president ever in the history of this country. And some people are like, no, please, don't be poking your nose into these affairs. But it's been trending on social media, so we have to have a conversation around it.
Look, it's very, very...
is it a positive statement?
With all due respect,
they don't like praise.
Gabby should just keep quiet. We beg him. We are begging him, make him keep quiet. No be go can't show him Mahama. We voted for him. We saw what we saw. That's why we voted for him. Yeah. He is not the one come to tell us that Mahama prepared for what. Akufo-Addo, how many times did Akufo-Addo stand for presidency? Between him and Mahama, who was supposed to be prepared? Mahama came through, became a president as from a vice president. Between him and Akufo-Addo, who was more prepared? You voted Mahama. One kind of question, kind of problem. Then you finish. You come and sit.
I mean, you have to wrap up.
Listen, you finish and come and tell us. You are come to tell us that Mahama is more prepared. What stopped Akufo-Addo from being prepared? For the 3 consecutive times he was trying to run as president, what stopped him? You had everything at your disposal. Please. Look at how you even left the party. Look at the current state of... we are discussing. I mean, he said he's well prepared. His preparedness you are talking about. You understand? You were trying to be president for like 3 consecutive elections. Yeah. After, look at the state you've left the party. All right. And the beast in there. And you are going to talk about somebody who we have learned our lesson. They should understand, first of all, you should understand that it wasn't Mahama that was chasing us. Ghanaians started chasing Mahama. Okay. That is why you should understand. It's just say Mahama was prepared. No. Ghanaians, like I said, what they shake they show, you know. If Ghanaians no lenses, now you have a saxophone. Okay. Because what we went through under that ruling government. If we didn't change, not as a young as a
okay. For someone who benefited for 8 years from the previous government and has built his brand to a level where it's not respected. Sometimes you need to give credit to a credit.
What I say?
Long John the Blogger was established during the 8 years of Akufo-Addo. But now let's go back to the topic. Now
you didn't just hear what he said.
But it is true. You've gone.
I was established during the 8 years of what? How did I benefit?
The last 8 years, all the tertiaries you've gone. Which era you go through the
free education?
No free education I talk. You go when you're a graduate. God bless you. Now,
how is that even relevant in the preparedness we are talking about?
So
allow him. That's his point.
So now let me talk. You see, I agree with what Gabby said. The president is the most prepared.
What happened to Akufo-Addo?
So now let's start with.
I'm just.
You know, he was
COVID-19.
There's
a war.
Long John, our time is almost up.
As a son of an ambassador, he understood governance. He's a masterful communicator.
Wow.
He was JCR president at Commonwealth, following the footsteps of my father, who was a roommate. Okay. He became an assemblyman. Okay. My father was an assemblyman. Okay. My father ended as assemblyman. He wasn't into politics. Okay. He went to become an MP, successive MP. He became vice president.
Okay. Minister.
He became minister. He became vice president. He became president. He lost. He sat at home for 8 years. Went through the whole scenario in his head. He was able to...
Or did he tell you this?
Keep quiet. He was able,
the boy is editing.
He was able to audit his failures in his first term.
Wow.
Yes. He was able to audit and see who was beneficial, who was not beneficial, who was with him, who was not with him. He was able to study what he did wrong and what he did right. To the extent that after the 8 years, coming back, he came back with so many arsenals because, number one, he is one of the few people to have gone through every single step in our political phase.
And so?
He is also the only person who was president, lost an election, and has been brought back.
We are seeing ask the relevant question what happened to the previous government?
So if he wasn't prepared, I would have even been disappointed because this is someone. It's like going to an exam.
Listen.
And you need to write receipt.
We ditch a precedent.
Our time is almost up. Wow. I was giving you signs.
I ditch a precedent.
I don't know whether Long John has...
Don't distract us.
I don't know whether Long John has ever written a receipt. But me, I have.
I have. But what you are saying,
wait.
We ditched the president.
Wait,
because we thought we were a better option.
Wait, you do not ditch any president. Let me tell you something. Akufo-Addo never lost. He had completed his term. It's Mahama who lost, not Akufo-Addo. Let's start with that one. Now to the receipt. When you had the receipt, didn't you learn? Didn't you prepare? Let's say I went to university. The exams that came, I did not learn. I failed.
Can I ask you a question?
Wait, Poto.
Can I ask you a question?
No, you finish. You have about 6 minutes to wrap up.
No, you can't.
He's saying a lot of tautologies.
No problem.
No, you want to ask.
How many times did Akufo-Addo stand as president, as flag bearer? How many times did Akufo-Addo stand as flag bearer?
Wait.
Long John,
no.
You asked me a question.
Let me finish
You want to ask a question?
Yes.
No, I don't want you to ask a question. It's not by force. when the receipt came, I failed. What did I do? The next year, in Legan, you have to wait the next year because the semester you failed, that'll be the semester. I learned. In fact, I chewed. In fact, I prepared. When the paper came, I sat behind it. I was like, that is what has happened.
Are you done?
Where the ex-president, through the 8 years of being in opposition, realized all the mistakes of himself and also the 8 years of the previous government. And he has started off on a very strong foot, we are all praising him. That makes him the most prepared. And let me tell you this thing.
I like this.
Let me tell you this thing. Let me tell you this thing for here.
Then you can come in.
The NDC government, in fact, the NDC as a party, is one of the most prepared parties because during the last 4 years in opposition, do you know what happened? They pushed their members to get higher education. So if you realize, look at the past 4 years, you see a lot of NDC people doing their masters. An example is KOD. He had this masters. A lot of people. I mean, he doesn't. Because he doesn't.
No. Look at where you're taking it to.
Because he's not an NDC member, he does not understand the dynamics.
He's lying with them.
But most NDC. I'm not lying with them. Let me just.
If you don't allow him to finish,
let me tell you this. The MP for Kaswa.
Stop lying, please.
Utu Senya.
Yeah.
Was in my class, my master's class.
Koyo.
Now Koyo. Who is now like a board member of National.
How does that have to do anything to do with NDC?
If you don't allow
since individuals have their money
too.
You see, you are not understanding because
you are politicizing people's personal life. That's what they pay me.
Because the party
they pay me.
Yes, because the party envision that when they come to power, they need people with the relevant qualifications. So they ask their members to improve upon their qualifications to be able to earn certain positions. That is why somebody Long John supported has not gotten a position because he or she did not go and update themselves.
Who are you referring to?
No, he knows who I'm referring to. They did not go and update themselves. So right now, when they were sharing positions, they did not get. And even when they won power, they asked people to bring their CVs. And they looked at the CVs to give the relevant roles. It's only a few that was like Godfather vibes, but many of them were based on the CVs that were presented. So this is a party which was prepared with one of the most prepared flag-bearers.
First of all, I'd like to trash what he just said about the education.
You can't trash. You're not an NDC member.
Please.
You are not an NDC member. Please. How will you know?
Let me speak.
Please.
Let's go because he's not an NDC member. He cannot, unless he's speaking for NDC.
Listen.
Is he an NDC communicator?
Just go.
I'm trashing that point because
are you an NDC communicator?
Both MPP and NDC, every member were preparing themselves in school, whether I like it or not. Everybody was being prepared. My question is, they brought a candidate to succeed the sitting government. Are they trying to tell us the candidate wasn't prepared?
Candidate failed.
So why doesn't he acknowledge the fact that his candidate failed? Mahama prepared himself and has gotten there.
Because maybe the question was.
It's not about question.
Have you watched the whole event?
Acknowledge.
You see.
I have sinned against you. I'm sorry. What I say? But don't tell me I'm sorry or did you sin? Yes, I sinned.
Okay.
What I say? You brought a candidate. What happened to the candidate? If you governed well, wouldn't he have gotten the nod?
Great.
What was his percentage?
But please establish that Gabby.
And don't use the classroom thing that they were prepared.
Gabby was not a political point. He was his cousin who was.
No, you see, listen, we are not talking about Gabby. We are not talking about his personality. We are talking about what he said.
I think if
he's always trying to debunk everything. He's always trying to.
But you are trashing Gabby based on party lines. You are trashing Gabby based on party lines.
Thank you very much for joining us on this conversation.
What he said.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's always heated when it's about national issues, so you have to bear with us. Let's go for commercial.